I'm Mike Goins, and today we're going to look at the process of replacing sash cords in older windows. The first step is to take out the stop, the trim stop. This can be done by slipping a flat bar under the trim stop and pulling it out gently. At this point, we could pull the other stop, but I don't think I will have to today. The other sash cord is not broken, so I'm going to put a clamp on this cord to keep it from moving on me, and simply pull the window out. The sash is now completely free of the window, and we put this clamp on here to keep this sash weight from pulling this cord on over the wheel. Okay, at this point we want to open the pocket, which is right here. The pocket is a small area here that has been cut out. There's a screw at the bottom of this one. Sometimes there's also a screw at the top. It needs to be removed. At this point, we'll open the sash door, and the sash weight is now exposed. This particular sash weight won't come out of the sash pocket because it's a little bigger than the sash pocket. That's no problem. We can tie the knot on it right there. The next step will be to run the rope over the pulley and down to this point so that we can tie the rope on it. To be able to get the rope over the pulley and down to the sash weight, the process that I use and that I think most people use is I have a string with a fish hook on one end and a fish weight on the other end. I simply push the weight over the pulley after checking to make sure that the pulley is working okay, which this one is, and it comes down here, and I now have that end available to me. The sash cord that we're going to use is braided cotton sash cord. It comes in three sizes. It comes in 1/4 inch, 13/32, and 10/32, depending on the weight of the sash that you're working with. One wants to use the largest cord that will comfortably go over the wheel. The rope has to go from here to about right there,
Okay.
with room for the knots.
Okay.
And here being the point in the window where the knot is. Now that I have the weight and string down at the bottom of the pocket, I fasten the fish hook onto the sash cord and gently pull the string down and the sash cord over the top of the pulley, and continue pulling the rope down until it appears down here. At this point, I now have the rope over the top. The top of the sash weight has a hole in it. You have to merely run the rope through that hole, and at this point tie a simple overhand knot. This simple overhand knot will hold as long as you're using cotton sash cord. If you're made the mistake of getting a nylon sash cord at this point in time, you'll find that your knot won't hold. It will probably for about 2 days, and then you get to start the process over again. Never use nylon sash cord because it bounces too much and the knots will all come untied. We're ready to start putting the window back together. And the door needs to be placed back in its cubby. Goes. And replace the screw back in to hold it in place. The sash cord needs a simple overhand knot tied in this end of it, which will go into the pocket in the side of the sash. We're getting ready to put the sash back in, but before we do, you need to make any necessary repairs to the sash. And before you actually start putting it back in, one of the most important steps in the process is to put a little bit of wax on all the surfaces that are going to rub against each other.
I don't know that. That's cool.
I use a candle stub. This surface is a surface which will rub against the surface of the window frame. At this point in time, what one needs to do is to put the knot in the groove, force it in, bring it up, and this knot should stay in that hole. It's a simple overhand knot. You do that on both sides. Put the window back in the frame. It's just sitting there now, and I can release my clamps that I have on the sash cord. Okay, at this point we're ready to put the stop back on, and just a little bit of scuds there. When you look at a stop, if it's properly cut, it will be longer than the space, so what you have to do is spring it into place, like that. And here's one of the important things about making sashes work smoothly, is the placement of this stop. If it's too loose, the sash will rattle in the wind. If it's too tight, it won't move. I use the thickness of a putty knife. I stick it right here and fasten the trim stop at this point. Move it to the bottom, do the same thing. Then I open the sash and allow a little more space at the top, because it doesn't matter if it rattles when it's open. It's not holding air out, and it keeps it from being quite as tight against it, so it moves better. We should now have a sash that works perfectly well. This sash needs to have a sash lock put on it, and that sash lock will pull the two sashes together and make a very tight, smooth operating window.